Hello everyone, my name is Cami and welcome back to my channel. I am super excited for this video because we are getting ready for 2024 for the new year and just like setting ourselves up for success. I really just wanted to give myself like the best start I could. And these are just some of the things that I'm going to be doing and that I feel like are really helpful for me and could be really helpful for you too. So I'm just going to take you guys along with me on these super easy, inexpensive ways to start your new year off on the best foot possible and just to like motivate yourself to make better habits and have a better year overall. So I'm really excited. I've never filmed a video like this before and I've never really like done as many things as I'm going to be doing to really set my year off right. So let's transform ourselves. Let's get ourselves ready for the new year. The first thing I'm going to be doing, like the first step for me personally, which not everybody like might have to do, but I need to take down all of my Christmas decorations in my room. I love Christmas, so I have tons of decorations in my room and whatnot. But with the new year coming, I don't want to go into the new year with my room kind of like with decorations for a different season and holiday that's passed. And I just feel like it'll give my room a much needed like clean and give it more space that I need that I can put and use for other things. But for me, having a clean space and a clean room and an environment is really, really important to my success. And just having like a new space really opens me up for like creativity and motivation. So pro tip, like clean out your room, make sure like you can donate things, declutter, all that good stuff. Just a fresh clean so you have a fresh room for the new year. Okay, first things first, before we do anything new or set any new goals or anything for the next year, it's important to reflect on the past year and just kind of look back to see how the year was. So unfortunately, I didn't make like a true vision board, or at least I can't find it if I did, and I didn't really write any resolutions last year, which I'm kind of sad I didn't do because I think it's really important, and that's why I'm also doing it this year so that I can also look back on it for next year. So I don't have those things to look back on, but another way that I can do that and that you guys can do that as well is looking back through your phone, through your camera roll at different memories, looking back through like say your Snapchat pictures if you take a lot of pictures on there, because I know I do, looking back on your Instagram feed, just looking back at all of the pictures and memories that you know you made and the things that you did and kind of like what each month brought you. So that's a good way to do that. I know that for me, there's a lot more that I wish I had done. Looking back, I realized that. And there were so many really cool opportunities and memories that I made this year that I am really, really grateful for, that I will always look back on. So that is really important to me. For me, in terms of this year, I had a lot of big life changes happen to me, and I feel like that was something I will always look back on this year specifically, is all the different things that happened and how I handled those situations. And that is something that I want to take with me this year. I actually transferred to a new college, which is really, really big for me. And I also joined a new cheer team and met a lot of new people and started at a new job. So tons of different environments and different places, different people was a big deal for me this year, and that is something I want to look back on and reflect on as well. So what's really good to do, like a tip, is to like look back on big changes or big events that happened and kind of use that as something to use for the future and for your next year to make new goals and to kind of see how those situations or events went. But that being said, I am now ready to start making my goals and like resolutions for 2024. Now it is time to write my 2024 New Year's resolutions, and I'm gonna walk you guys through them and like talk about each one specifically. What I'm going to be doing is doing it on my phone. Since I'm home, I don't actually have like a notebook or like any paper that I would normally use. So I feel like I would write it in a notebook, but my notebooks and all my journals and stuff are at school. So I'm just going to be writing it on my phone. I may in the future write it down in a journal just to have it there as well, but having it on my phone is good as well. I'm going to go into my notes app and I'm going to make a new title for my 2024 New Year resolutions. And then I added some cute little emojis. And this is a new like tip and something I didn't even like think about doing that I saw someone else do in a similar video. They were kind of explaining how instead of just writing the resolution, I should also write underneath it kind of like a plan of action or different ideas of how I can actually make that happen. So it's a lot easier for me to focus on, and I have a plan of action in place to actually make these goals a reality, because a lot of the time they could just sit on a piece of paper or in your phone and it never really goes anywhere, because knowing and like thinking about where to start with it can be some of the hardest parts of accomplishing these goals. So I'm going to be doing that, and I think you guys all should do that as well if you're making a New Year's resolution, because it can be super, super helpful for future you to actually do these things. I have been brainstorming and this is what it looks like. I have a total of 8. I feel like that's a good number to start with, and I'm going to tell you guys what they are and then also share kind of like the plan and what I'm going to do to like try to achieve these goals. So first is to read at least 1 book a month. I am really into reading and I really want to challenge myself to just make sure that I'm reading consistently, and I'm also reading at least 1 book a month. I feel like that'll be good for my progress. And I kind of already do that, kind of don't. But the way that I'm gonna try to like help myself achieve this is to set aside time to read. I don't necessarily need to read every day if I'm busy that day or if I just don't get to it or I'm too tired. I don't want to force myself to be super strict about I have to read, because I want to do it and it's supposed to be enjoyable, which it is. So I just need to make sure that I'm making time to, instead of just being on my phone, maybe I could read a chapter or a few. And then number 2 is learning how to cook and bake. This is something that I actually have been wanting to do for a really long time. And now that I have my own apartment and I'm not just in a regular dorm, it has definitely become something that I've noticed I really, really need to do as well. So what I want to try is to find recipes and videos that I want to try to cook and bake, and plan a night each week to make something. It might not end up being a week. It might not end up being a night every week, but hopefully at least a night every 2 weeks, because I still have a meal plan and everything. But I think that is a good tangible way to at least get me to try something. And I love using TikTok to look at cooking videos and recipe videos of these people making these really delicious dishes that I'm like, I definitely could do that. I just don't. So I really want to push myself to try to be more independent and to actually try to just cook something and bake something. Number 3 is working on my personal style. I have always kind of struggled with like my outfits and my style and what I like and what I don't like and like what to wear, just because I feel like it changes a lot and I like a lot of different things. So I'm not really like into one certain style, but I definitely have gotten better over the years with like figuring out what I feel confident in and trying to make outfits that I really like, even if they aren't like things I see people wear every day. I just want to wear what I think is cool and what makes me feel happy. So that's kind of like my plan, is just finding those certain outfits and those certain pieces that I really, really love and I feel confident in, and working on making more fun outfits and more outfits that I really want to wear. Number 4 is taking better care of myself physically. Obviously, I want to take care of myself mentally as well, but this is a big one that I noticed this year in particular is super important and something I have really been lacking, which I didn't even really realize until I started getting like effects from it. So what I want to try to do is just make healthier choices and just research new things and ways to try to feel my best, because physically I don't always, and I feel like I could be doing a whole lot more to make sure that my body feels its best. So definitely one way I want to do that is by taking vitamins. Long story short, I don't take vitamins, and I know that's like super bad, and I never really used to think about it because I don't know, but I definitely drink water and stuff like that. But I think I need to take it a step further and make sure that I'm getting like all the nutrients I need, all of that good stuff every day, because it actually is really important and it actually matters in making sure that you feel good. Number 5 is I want to read at least 5 books in 2024. I think this is a very tangible goal for me. I don't know for sure how many books I read this year. I think it's 5 or it could be more. I put 5 because I don't want to get disappointed in myself if I really end up not being able to hit that mark for whatever reason next year. But I feel like 5 makes me motivated enough to know that I can do it, and I most likely will go over that goal. And so for next year, 2025, I would make a bigger goal for that. But what I'm going to do is, again, just making more time for myself to read and just not go weeks without reading a chapter. That can happen when I get so busy, or I just like keep just like putting it off. And that's one thing I don't want to do, is I don't want to get so far in between where I haven't read a chapter in a really long time. Number 6 is I want to post content consistently. I just want to make sure that I am doing my best to post as much as I can. I don't need to post 3 videos every day on TikTok or whatever, but I definitely want to post at least once a day if I can, and I have been able to do that pretty well in the past like 2 months that I've been trying to do it. So I definitely want to do that with TikTok. I would like to try to get back into YouTube. With this video, I'm trying to kind of do that, but I know with my schedule sometimes it can be so hectic for me to try to do that. But I really, really want to push myself this year into really staying consistent. But regardless, TikTok, I definitely know that I can do that, and I really want to make sure that happens. But at least with YouTube, I would like to try to post once a week. That would be a really amazing goal. And then in order to do that, I just need to make schedules and make specific filming and editing days and times that work for me, and just know that that's what I'm doing and not get involved in anything else. Number 7 is have better eating habits. Again, this is something that I never really thought that much about, but I've realized is super important, especially being in college now and having my own kitchen and all that stuff. It makes me think about it a whole lot more. And I just want to make sure I'm eating 3 meals a day. I realized how truly important that is. I cannot go without eating at least something in the morning, something in like the middle of the day, and dinner. I have to do that. And also just making sure I have snacks, making sure I'm well fed and I have access to food. And another one is just having food in my apartment. I can forget to go to the store or just don't do it for months at a time because I have a dining plan, but that's not always like the best option for when I'm just hungry in the middle of the night or hungry early in the morning per se. So I need to make sure that I always have something available to me when I want it or I need it. And my last one for number 8 is financial stability. So I just want to make sure I'm finding a saving plan that works for me. That's one thing that I can definitely do. I see a lot of videos on TikTok and I definitely need to start implementing them more and just seeing what works for me, because honestly, I don't even know what works for me because I haven't really tried anything in particular to the fullest extent that I could. And obviously with my age, I do have some bills. So that becomes really serious for me in making sure that I have the money I need for the things I need them for. And then I just need to start writing out all my expenses. I've heard that works for people, and I think personally it would work for me. I don't always do that, and I always sometimes just get confused about where my money goes or where I spent it that day or this and that. And just making sure every single time I spend any of my money that I know exactly where it went and exactly what I'm doing with it, because that just helps me better and I can visualize it a whole lot better. But just know there is not one way to reach your goals, and just writing a few things down can be really, really helpful, but you can do it a totally different way. Whatever works best for you is what's most important. But those are my 2024 New Year's resolutions and goals. I really, really hope that I can achieve them, and I just want to put my best foot forward to be able to achieve these goals in the new year. Okay, something really cool and different that I wanted to try doing that someone else also brought to my attention that I think is really cool is to set quarterly reminders on my phone through my calendar to just make sure that I am holding myself accountable and just checking in with myself for these goals. Because if I just go a whole year without really looking back at them or making sure that I'm focused on them, then I'm not sure that I'm always going to be on top of them as much as I should. And that's okay, because everyone forgets, everyone gets busy and just doing a whole other million things. So that way I can check in and be like, oh, how are these going? What can I do to improve these goals? What can I do to maybe get rid of this goal or fix it or change it or whatever if it's not working for me or it's just not attainable or something that I really want to prioritize? Because that's okay too. This is a trial and error process. These aren't things that are like set in stone that you have to do or you have to accomplish, or like you're not doing good things in life. That is definitely not the point of making New Year's resolutions, and I want to make sure that I am checking in to see how I'm doing. So what I did was I put a reminder for April 1st, July 1st, and October 1st into my calendar called Quarterly New Year's Check-In, and that will go off on those days, and I will instantly be reminded, if I'm not already, of all of the things that I wrote down that I wanted to do and the goals that I wanted to accomplish. And I just want to check in with myself to see how they're going, and that will hold me extra accountable because I will have something literally be reminding me what I should be doing and what I put down to have for my goals to be accomplished for the end of the year. Another fun little thing that I wanted to do to my phone is to change it into a new case, because this is a Christmas case and I just want to get a new case for the new year. I think I'm actually gonna go with this case from Wildflower. I get almost all of my cases from them. I love them and I am obsessed. I literally love this case, and it just like makes my phone feel like brand new. But I love this so much, and this is so cute. Thing that I want to do for me personally is to update my phone and my electronics on my iPad and my MacBook from like the Christmas and holiday stuff that I had on it. As you can see, I have a wallpaper here, and basically all of my widgets and everything is just all like Christmassy themed. And again, I do want to update it for the new year, so I'm gonna do that before I make my vision board, because I may end up putting my vision board as an iPad backdrop or one for my MacBook as well. I think it's just good to have it like in your face as much as possible, or just something that you can visually see a lot, so it's just always there and always a good reminder. But for my iPhone, I don't want to do that because I just don't think it would look good with like the size of my phone. So first I'm gonna go on Pinterest and look for some really cute wallpapers for my phone. Okay, I found two really cute wallpapers. It actually did not take me a long time at all to find these, but what I'm gonna do is they're gonna be like pinkish themed. I just feel like that's like the vibe I'm going for right now, and with Valentine's Day coming up as like the next holiday, I kind of want to like make things kind of like go with that vibe, but also just like in general. But I just love how like the aura like things look. It's like with all like the really cool colors and everything. And I'm also just going to try to maybe update my lock screen a little bit and play with that to see what I think. I organized it and I am obsessed with it now. It looks so much better. My home screen is so cute and everything just goes really well together. I love it so much. Super pink and girly, which is everything that I love. So now that that's done, we can start doing the fun stuff and making our 2024 vision boards. So first things first, in order to make this vision board, we need to use my favorite app of all time, Pinterest. And what we're gonna do is basically take all of those goals and those New Year's resolutions that we wrote down that we made and try to find pictures that kind of capture that. This year, I don't want to like overdo it, as I feel like I've done in the past and I've seen people do in the past, and just making it so filled and just everything's everywhere. I kind of want to do minimal pictures and minimal words, like one for each thing, and just want it to like go cohesively together and just be like a lot more toned down in that sense. And so that's what I'm personally gonna do. I am gonna just go on Pinterest and look up some images that kind of go with each of my goals, and then I will come back and we will put it all together as best we can. So I saved all of the images that I liked the best, trying to like narrow it down and not do too many. I have one for each goal, and then I added a few pictures that have just words, so I'm gonna crop it so it's just the word. So what I'm gonna do next is, personally, I like to use Canva for this, but I am just gonna go into my Canva app and create a new design. Here she is in all her glory. I think she's absolutely perfect. As you can see, I did all of the images and then I added some of the quotes like in bigger spots. So I'll kind of explain some of them. So this one has to do with like better eating habits, like prepping meals, making sure I'm like eating the proper amount a day. This one is kind of a new one. It's traveling. I'm going to be traveling in 2024, and I also want to travel more. I should have put that down maybe as like a goal, but that is on there. And then this is also for like the reading goal. That one's on there with like some baked goods. And then I have some influencer stuff. This is to do with cooking. This is for my pageant journey that I'm starting in 2024, which is super exciting. This is like for tracking my expenses. A closet, this has to do with obviously like my style and like having clothes that I feel confident in. The vitamin one, and then another saving money one. And the quotes I really love, I have romanticize your life, consistency, 2024 is my year, and then I am a successful influencer. So I think this is a really good start. I love this so much, and I think this is perfect. Okay guys, well that is going to be the end of this video. I am really happy with all of the new things I did to prepare for this new coming year, all of the goals and the little changes that I made to set myself up for success. And I hope that you guys are feeling just as motivated and inspired to have the best year possible and the best start to the year as possible as I am, and I hope this video helped you with that. I cannot wait to update you all on these goals and how I'm doing with my progress. But I hope you guys all have a wonderful start to your year, and make sure to stay tuned for future videos coming your way.